My Ariya has been very itchy lately.
Well, you're thinking of urethra.
It's the Nissan Ariya.
I understand now why it's tempting for athletes or other high achieving individuals to use some degree of performance enhancing stimulants, supplements, whatever.
Why? Very strange way to start the podcast today, but go ahead.
Because I was in the shower today and I was like,
I wish my penis was smaller.
Wow. Yep. That's usual shower for me. I was thinking we could just have like Red Bulls or Starbucks or something like that before the podcast and then be like real boosted in energy. And then I was like, all right, well then do you set the precedence then that like you always have to be all boosted up for podcasts? And then I think of other podcasters who, I know they're always drinking like, energy drinks or whatever, because that does make for a more interesting episode. And then that's how it spiraled to like, I empathize with why like an athlete would want to use
steroids.
Yeah. You should perhaps move your mic a little bit up and to the left so that when you look at me, you don't have to like argue, Yeah. Welcome, episode 73, Daily Motor listeners, podcast, and viewers. Jumble those words around properly, put them in your ears, and
73.
Enjoy.
Wow. Is it really 73?
That is the temperature at which we set the climate control on our fuel account.
This is the outside temperature is 68 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll be running the climate control inside the cabin at 73 degrees auto.
Yeah. Unless it's the Jetta.
Unless it's the Jetta, in which I just put it in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah.
I should say I watched through part of your, it must have been the BMW fuel economy test. You did a really good job.
Thank you.
You're doing very well at those.
I mean, I've been doing it now for like 2 years. So I would hope.
Aren't they kind of nice? I mean, you just like once now that it's
it's like automatic. I don't even think about it anymore.
It's just like a nice hour of nothing, and then like you get into a soak in the car a little bit and
blast the ELS sound system.
Listen to rattles.
I didn't hear any rattles. I had that thing cranked in the Integra. Did you watch the Jetta fuel economy test? It was chaos.
That's the one actually I watched the beginning on because of the little takedown.
The people doing donuts. There were a lot of funny comments about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't often read comments, but I read comments on the Jetta fuel, and there were a lot of nice ones, and then there were a lot of people saying, like, that guy's probably whipping his mom's car, which he probably was.
Yeah.
So.
I think Volkswagen should be really happy with our coverage of that car.
They should be, because Chris put out a really good review. We put out a really good review. We put out a really good fuel economy test that was honest. I mean, we didn't,
So hopefully they watch and appreciate all of those before they see the sound test.
Oh, I forgot you did a sound test. Just don't send them the sound test. No, knowing Volkswagen, they'll take all of the good stuff, throw it away, and say, why did you say bad things about our sound system? It's not intended to be bad. Obviously not.
I'll be like, 4 speakers.
Yeah.
They're about as good as those old computer speakers sitting on the chair behind the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty woeful. The first E rating.
Yeah, during my fuel economy test with the Jetta, I took that opportunity to catch up on my, on Tedward's Respect the Drive podcast.
Yeah, Respect the Drive.
I always forget that sometimes I enjoy listening to podcasts. I was like, oh, this is perfect because I can listen to a voice instead of music.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't do too many of those episodes, right?
No, like once every couple months he does one. So there was one from January that I hadn't listened to yet. So
yeah,
that's what I did, and it worked out well. Got 50 mpg.
Impressive. You drove your Cayman, didn't you?
I did. Put 50 miles on it.
Where'd you go?
I just went for a little drive. Filmed it for my personal channel, just as like a first drive of the spring type thing. It's gonna go up Saturday. You all are listening to this on Wednesday. When do these go up now? They go up on Wednesday now?
Tuesday night for the audio only crowd, and then Wednesday morning for
this Saturday, as long as I get my stuff together, it should be up. So yeah, just a little first drive of the Cayman. Just got it out. Took it for a little spirited drive around through like Milan and ended in Saline, and then took the camera off and put my windows down and drove back. Just kind of took it all in. I love that car.
I was gonna say, is it still one of your favorite
it's
driving
just-
cars?
Yeah, no, it really is. Yeah, it is. It's tough for me, and I talked about this a little bit in the video. Is I get stressed when I drive that car because it's the most valuable thing I own. But I need to like get better at not caring so much because it's not like I want to sell it anyways. So like if anything happens to it, it's not the end of the world.
No.
But I also really like, we were just talking about this earlier. I really like having my M Roadster because it's very imperfect. It's got faded paint. The wheels are all corroded and it's got 106,000 miles on it or something like that. So that's a car I can get in, go out, drive it, put it away dirty and like not care. Like it's just like I can go out and have fun, not have to worry about anything. Whereas in the Cayman,
bugs on it and everything.
yeah,
like
in the
that.
Cayman,
Like,
I'm just like, oh, don't get near me. Like I don't want to drive it in any highly populated areas because I
could picture
just,
in
like,
the
get
Cayman,
nervous.
you go down one of those roads where they've laid the grippy rocks.
Oh,
to
I've
like,
never done that in the Cayman.
Right,
Absolutely
you
not.
just turn around. Whereas that Roadster, you'd be like,
oh, I would just
I guess
fly
this is
through it.
happening.
I'm like,
yeah,
oh, whatever.
Yep. Yeah, there's a
Someone
freedom
has
in that.
already abused the M Roadster. The
There
M
you go.
Roadster is
You're
already
buying it pre-abused.
yeah, the M Roadster I bought it pre-abused, which is great. I really like
Chris's
that car.
dating strategy.
I'm like, wow.
Speaking of your dating, you're gonna have a nice, relaxing week this week. Emily's heading to Florida. You're gonna be able to drive.
No, she's not.
Really? Developments? Oh. So because you couldn't go, she realized it was an awful idea.
No, I'll tell you after this.
Oh, it's you don't want the world.
No, we don't need to tell the world. But
cool.
I'll
I'm
tell you
curious.
after.
All right. So never
it's okay,
mind.
though.
You'll have a
It's okay.
normal week.
I'll have a normal
Actually,
week.
it is okay because you will have an uninterrupted week in the car that we'll talk about here in a little bit.
Yes, yeah, which I'm looking forward to. And Emily will like it too because she's a big fan of that brand. And my mother's looking forward to it as well because she's also a big fan of this brand.
Am I going to get an email from you in the middle of the week asking if you can drive that car to a faraway destination now that you guys aren't going to Florida?
Potentially. you may as well just ask.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think they want a ton of miles on it, but
Okay.
maybe
Well,
sub 500 would be fine. Was this the one the week you wanted to go to Indianapolis?
Yeah, for Meekum.
Because now that's probably a higher chance, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If not, though, I can take the Taurus SHO.
You take the new CX-30 now.
Or we could take the CX-30. That's true. Yeah. Put some
We'd
miles
get
on it.
decent fuel economy.
Yeah.
Emily's probably not going to even get
I don't
close to
know.
her lease mileage, right?
Probably not because
'Cause
she's
you'll
already
almost
had the
always
car.
take
How
your
long has she
press
had that
cars.
car now? A month?
If that, probably not quite.
She's only put like 400 miles on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine her Jeep was well below its mileage.
Yeah, she was. And we actually we took the Jeep to Chicago a couple times, took it all over the place, and she was still, I think, 3,000 miles under her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had
Because most
she was
trips you're going to
allowed-
take press cars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Emily doesn't really drive places.
But-
Chris always has fancy boy cars.
No, yeah, she never. I've literally ridden in that CX-30 like one time. We just take my cars everywhere. That's okay.
Alyssa and I have been trying to discuss. She'd like to have a new car at some point.
I've
like
got
a
a
different
sweet
car.
2012 Focus out back she could have for $3,000.
Yeah, that's
Or
what
if
she
any
should
of
have.
you, well, Alyssa's price is a little bit less. For anyone else, probably $3,500. But still, very
If you're a
good car.
Daily Motor member, $3,350.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though I don't benefit from members, but
Right.
whatever.
Yep.
Charlie can give me.
He benefits because I'm in a better mood.
Because you're what?
Better mood.
Okay.
More
Yeah. Right.
members. Yep. No, so we've been talking about she'd like to get a different car at some point, one that's all her own and everything. And
And you don't like that because it costs money. And since you're married, all of the money is the same.
right. Well, here's the thing. We as below 30 individuals and stuff, actually really no one ever needs a luxury car.
No,
And no one ever
You
needs
don't
a new
need
car.
anything luxury. Luxuries are
Right.
luxuries.
Yes, exactly. So like cars are expensive, and you
Oh,
and
yeah.
I have very much experienced how sub $30,000 you can get some really nice cars, even sub $20,000.
M Roadster.
Yeah.
My Lexus was back in the day. I paid like $8,700 for it,
And I
it's
love your
excellent.
Lexus.
It's
Yeah.
an excellent because
You
everything
just sent
need.
me a Lexus LS430.
Oh my God, show that
for
to Alyssa.
$6,000.
It's oh my God. This car. Let me pull it up. Okay.
One of you should buy this because
This
we
car-
can't.
This car
I'd get
that I
in trouble,
sent.
and Chris would.
Why
be
would you
more
get
broke,
in trouble? Alyssa would love it. Would she not love it? You could put some Apple CarPlay in there for her, and she'd be fine.
Perhaps.
Anyways, I sent this car to Charlie earlier because I was having a crisis because
I can
loved
bring it up
so
on
much.
here. Wait,
Do you want me to text it to you or Facebook it to you? I'll Facebook it to you. Charles Dreyer. Charlie. Are you Charlie or Charles on here? Charlie. That's right, Charlie Dreyer. Why would it recommend you as the I'm friends with 4 Charlies.
Facebook is awful.
I'm friends with 4 Charlies, okay? 3 of which I never talked to, and it recommended all 3 of them before you.
Well, I picture you pretty much only talk to me, Tom, and Chris on Facebook Marketplace or Facebook Messenger and John. Tedward.
Oh, Tedward. Yeah.
All right, so here it is. Down in Canton, Ohio. It's got a video. For
what
one.
I like about this car is usually when you see these LSs, they're always silver on gray. This one is white on Bordeaux. I don't think I've ever seen this interior color. This is like the same spec as that 7 Series we just had.
This is how you can tell it's not a degenerate.
They didn't cover the license plate. Yeah.
And they own
Do you think people realize that when you drive on the public street, people can see your license plate?
I don't think so.
I don't think they realize
I don't think they think that.
No.
Ooh, look at that engine bay. Admittedly, I hadn't looked through all these photos because I was busy this
Wait till you
morning.
get to the interior.
Okay.
It's literally, it has a
timing belt replacement.
Yes, it's had the timing belt done. The headliner's beautiful.
Oh.
Look at that interior. Charlie, you have to have this car.
That is
you
excellent.
Go and get it.
For those of you listening, it's this dark, like
Bordeaux.
almost.
It's like a wine color.
Yeah, like a dark red wine.
Very dark red.
Oh,
look at that steering wheel. Oh, wood.
Mm-hmm.
Alyssa would love this car. She could drive around California with this thing. You could get a CarPlay head unit sponsored for it. I bet the sound system's excellent. I bet it's got a Mark Levinson.
Yeah, especially with the board. Yeah, wow.
And it's like amazing price. How many miles are on it?
137.
137, and it's like $6,000. 60. I can't see 6,700.
Yeah, 6,700 listed.
He says in the description, "Don't lowball me. I know this is a good price," or something like that.
Yeah, they're going for 65 with 200K on them.
Yeah, which is true. They are.
Okay, don't message me unless you're planning on coming over. Yeah, I mean, that's
Probably just some old person that's like wants to get rid of the car, and they're like, "Don't F with me. Just come get it."
I will say, have you ever driven one of those?
No.
They don't drive as well as you would think.
That generation LS? You've
Because
driven those?
before I bought the MX-35, sorry, the M35, I test drove one of those.
Oh, was it clapped?
No, it was pretty good shape. It was up and bright, and it's possible it was the Sport model, and that's why it rode a little less floaty than I wanted.
It was or the one with the bigger wheels?
Because I think they just called them Sport back then.
Okay. Sport design.
Sport design,
Yeah.
It just didn't ooze luxury the way I was expecting.
That one would, though, because it's got Bordeaux.
That one would help. Yeah. Also, that smells good. Those Lexuses do.
Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah.
My
GS smelled pretty good.
That would be fantastic. Would be a bit expensive for upkeep.
Why?
Relative.
Why would it be? Premium fuel, not very good gas mileage.
That
Tires.
and spark plugs and
Spark
I mean,
everything's
more in a
V8.
V8.
You just have to change the oil on that car, and it'll be fine. It just had the timing belt done. Literally, you could go another. What is it? It got done at 115. It's at 130. You could go another 75,000 miles without doing a timing belt.
I could actually.
You could just never do another timing belt.
I could just never do another oil change. I could just purchase that car and do a YouTube series of can I own this Lexus
without
LS430
doing anything
without
to it.
literally yes.
That would be sad, though. That car deserves to live.
Yeah, you're right with the Bordeaux interior and everything like that.
That's got to be a very rare spec because I've never seen one. They're always silver or black.
Yeah.
I mean, white is uncommon, which sounds hilarious, but you never see white ones, and you especially never see white over Bordeaux.
Yeah, you would just like being able to tell people that would have been an excellent car for you, like in high school or early college when you used to tell people about all your cars.
Yeah,
and be
except
like,
I wouldn't have.
This is
been
the
able to
Bordeaux interior.
I wouldn't have been able to afford that. Well,
you said you dropped 87 on your IS.
Yeah, after high school, and then I was broke.
After high school,
and then in college I didn't work, so I was broke.
You still don't work. You like work a lot, but also don't have a job.
I do work a lot.
Yeah,
but
unemployed.
What did you say?
I said you're unemployed.
Debatable.
Do you have an employer?
I am. Yes, me. What am I? File as a sole proprietor, right?
No, you just it's just a Schedule C. Sole proprietor, I think, implies that you actually have a registered business.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I just tell the government how much money I make, and
they don't ask questions. As long as you pay the government taxes, they don't care.
I pay them every 2 months money, and then they don't come after me. So.
Chris out here paying quarterly taxes 6 times a year.
Oh yeah, it's every 3 months, huh? Yeah, it would be every 3 months.
But yes, that would be good. But anyway,
the next one is next month.
So Alyssa and I we're trying to come up with what is an appropriate amount of money for us to take out of the family budget for her to just have a car.
$6,700.
Okay.
Which is probably less than she was thinking?
Probably.
Because you were talking about getting her an ES hybrid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think either a sub $20,000 car or something that costs us $250 a month would be. Sorry, that at that price point, I think she should be able to get something with no questions asked. Like if she wanted a Chevy Equinox, I would gag, but like go along with that sort of thing as long as it's
Gag.
staying within that amount. I think over $250 a month or over $20,000, I should get some say in it. Do you think that's fair? Because it's like it's more of our money
Yeah.
that's like being spent. Because I recognize like people need transportation, you know, and so that's her way. Even if she wanted to not have a car and spend $250 a month on Ubers or whatever, I think that like she needs to get around, especially with having a job and stuff.
Yeah.
But you can get around and for very, very well for having a car. Because I know I'm still going to be the one like maintaining this piece, whatever she gets and stuff like that. So it's not like she's going to buy some car and then like it's going to be all hers that like, I don't want her taking it to the dealer and spending like $150 on some like multi-point inspection and an oil change when I could do it for $30 in the driveway.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she wants it to be like her thing.
Telling you, man, I just sent you the best car you could ever find for that.
I know. The other thing is like, I wish I could just get her to like the Maverick more. She doesn't hate the Maverick. I think she just...
She was spoiled with that Model Y.
I know. She really was.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit of a combination. She did have a nice Volkswagen Passat. If it weren't for me coming in and being like, hey, we should sell your car and get a Tesla, like, she'd still have her Passat. It was a nice car. I recognize that.
Yeah.
Now, admittedly, being a Volkswagen, I wasn't sure, like, when is this going to have issues?
When's the timing chain going to break?
Right, all those things. But let's just give her benefit of the doubt that it would have been totally fine. But the Maverick is, like, it's getting like 27 miles per gallon. That's pretty good.
Combined?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Combined. And even in the winter, in the warmer weather, it's 28. And it is decently comfortable. Okay sound system. CarPlay, which we now have working wirelessly. So it's just like, I don't know. That car only costs us $500 a month, and the sales tax is already taken care of and everything like that. Like it just, we're not going to be able to get something as new and reliable as that car for that type of money.
Yeah.
So, and is practical. Like it just does so many things. I do understand how she gets a little like disappointed sometimes when I'm like, hey, can I go like put a 4-wheeler in the back of your car? And then I come home and I'm like, hey, I took the tonneau cover off so I could fit the 4-wheeler in and everything like that. I get that.
Yeah.
But that's what I see is like, that's my half of the payment, $250 a month,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
I did fit a full-size 4-wheeler in the back.
Yes, and you will all see that soon.
Yeah. That'll be going up. I also fit a full-size adventure motorcycle.
Yes, and you will all see that soon.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So for all of you listening and wondering, what can I do with the bed of my Ford Maverick? That.
You will all see that soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I do think some sort of Lexus is the answer.
Definitely. Lexus, whenever people ask me, like my mom has friends all the time with kids that are becoming of driving age. And they always come to me and ask me what I think, and then they don't listen to what I have to say. But I always say, go and get a used Lexus because it's always the best choice for something for a first car for a kid. They're safe, they're reliable, they have everything you need in a car. They look nice, they've got clout. What else? I mean, what more could you ask?
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to be the most exciting to drive, but like when you're looking for a cheaper car, that's okay.
Yeah.
But although your car is
mine is very exciting to drive, but mine is not. I wouldn't recommend my car. I would recommend like an ES or an RX or something.
Why wouldn't you recommend your car?
A rear-wheel drive car for a 16-year-old in Michigan.
Yeah, you're right. I would have probably. I don't think I'd be here talking to you all. I would have crashed.
I would have crashed that. I'm surprised I didn't crash it because I got that car when I was 17.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't realize I was that young or maybe I was 18. I may have been just barely 18 because I got it in August of 2016. So yeah, I was probably just barely. Yeah, I was barely 18. But still, I'm surprised I didn't crash it because I had never owned a rear-wheel drive car. I had never driven rear-wheel drive in the winter, and I just went right into it. It was my only car up at college. I had a set of Blizzaks for it, which helped. But dude, we used to go out. That car has seen some things. Yeah. That car has seen
lived to tell the tale.
It has seen every empty parking lot in Midland. It's seen a couple of curbs in Midland. Never hard enough to break anything, but it has kissed a few curbs. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That was.
It's a good car. I understand why you want to keep it.
It took a lot. It took a lot of bouncing off the rev limiter and being low on oil. And
How excellent would it be if Alyssa got that LS430 and I got an IS300 manual?
I've got one for you. You want to buy mine?
If you would sell it to me, I'd consider it. Yeah.
I would maybe sell it to you.
I mean, if I needed a car right now, I mean, that would be like.
I mean, I would want like a decent amount of money for it.
Yeah,
It's
you'd
worth,
have to get a fair price. Yeah, yours is. Talk about a car that's appreciating.
Oh yeah,
that car.
Yeah, it's gaining
manual
value
IS.
as it sits there.
Mm-hmm. And if you were to ever have an accident with it, you would take the powertrain out and put it in a wagon, IS300 wagon.
That's a great idea. Yes, I would do that.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is the wagons are even more expensive than manual sedans, which is insane.
I know, but then a manual wagon.
I know.
Would
I'm
be
just
like,
saying to even source like a clean wagon, you're going to be
wagons.
spending like $15,000,
Right.
which is crazy. When I was looking back in 2015, when I became obsessed with getting a manual IS300, and they were all like $6,000, which is like disgusting to think about now. Wagons were like the same price. They were like $7,000-8,000. Now everything's doubled, manuals and wagons.
Here's a question. Gun to your head. You have to sell either both your IS and your Cobalt or your Cayman. Which do you pick?
I can keep the money from it.
Yeah, you get the money.
I think I'd sell the IS and the Cobalt.
Wow.
Yeah, keep the Cayman.
Okay.
I could go either way because like my Cobalt and my Cayman, I have like sentimental attachment to because of like my grandpa's involvement. So as long as I had one of them, I think I'd be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this talk of manual cars is a great transition into our first car that we drove this week, the 2023 Nissan Ariya. No, just kidding. The 2023 Acura Integra. I don't know if I would get the manual with that car.
Oh, God. You know why? Because the other choice is a CVT, and we know that Charlie loves CVTs.
Well, it's the Charlie's favorite transmission.
Yeah. That's right.
Charlie's vote for transmission. That's the CVT. Yeah. No, we know that CVT is good in that car. And the Integra is a great car. I quite enjoy it. And it's a pretty good manual as well. I don't love that engine with that transmission, however. The engine is so gutless, and it doesn't love revving out, but it also doesn't love being lugged. So you're kind of in this. It's just there, yeah. So you're like piloting an excellent gearbox paired up to an okay engine.
Yeah. Did you notice that between 1,500 and 2,000 RPM, if you let off, it goes blub 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 blub.
No, that's pretty cool.
It does, yeah. Very subtly,
Blub, blub, blub,
but it'll give you some little burbles.
Okay.
It goes blub, 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 blub.
You sure that's just not the brake rotor?
I'm sure it's not the brake rotor.
Yeah. I just, that's such a nice car to be in and to be driving from a chassis standpoint,
It is.
from a lightness
It's
standpoint,
very
and
well
everything.
sorted out.
That I think I'd be okay just letting the transmission handle itself.
I'm curious to see what the EPA difference is between the CVT and the...
Here's the thing. I bet you EPA rates the CVT better, but I bet the manual gets better in the real world.
Come on.
Because the EPA tells their testers that they have to shift at predetermined points, and that ruins manual cars on the EPA testing. The EPA is compliant and complicit in destroying manual transmissions.
Oh, here we go. No, it's the exact same highway rating. They both are rated at 36. However, city, the manual is 26 and the CVT is 29, which may actually be accurate.
Be the case.
Yeah.
But you got 43
I got
on our
43,
testing, and I
yeah.
bet you wouldn't quite get 43 with the CVT.
No.
Probably like 41.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
People have to remember there's more, when you're just running steady state, a CVT has more friction than I guess if it's a lockup CVT.
I am so uninterested
Maybe
in
not.
CVTs that I don't care how they work.
Yeah. Shoot, I forgot to point out a nerdy electric vehicle fact with the Ariya.
Oh, God. Yeah, no.
So I'll add it on the podcast.
Did it give you some sort of statistic?
No, but it was close. We'll get there.
Okay.
I think the Integra looks fantastic.
I think it does too.
I think the interior looks fantastic.
I think it does too.
I think everything feels fantastic.
Besides the things that rattle, yes.
There were some issues with quality, and that's not something I expected to see with Acura.
I think it's because the nature of that car as a press car, I think it's just been absolutely like run really hard.
Yeah, that's true, but still, we could assume that for a lot of press cars that we get. So why is something that's built by Honda and Acura something that should be
Yeah,
so
and
tight and
that's not a
proper?
pre-pro either, is it? Is it
No,
production
not
car?
that. I don't think
Yeah.
so. I mean, they didn't make that clear to us or anything. So
Yeah, I don't know, but infotainment screen vibrates and makes a noise. The shifter recently is making like a weird
started a
clicking noise,
concerning clicking noise.
and then also the seat belt, where the seat belt comes out of the B pillar, that trim piece rattles as well. So yeah, just a few little things. However, it can all be solved by turning up the ELS 3D sound system.
Yeah, and I do think they did a good job. I think Acura and Honda did a good job in general of differentiating the Integra from the Civic just right. I think it's priced properly.
Yeah, that's a good
I think
point.
the interior content is priced properly, or like, differentiated properly. And the sound systems, I think the Civic is a solid B. I think this ELS is a solid A.
Yeah, I think it's an A as well.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of power and it's crispy.
Mm-hmm.
What did you described it as something
A bit bright.
bright? That's the word. Yeah, I agree with that. It's very bright.
Yeah, most sound systems, I like adding a little bit of treble and a little bit of bass, but I didn't. I almost wanted to take treble out of this one because it's very there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, you are the expert, so.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. Side note on all that, I went and visited Harman's headquarters on Tuesday.
Oh, that's right. I didn't
Yeah,
ask you how that went. Sorry.
I went to Harman Day. Well, I'll tell you all. You think of Harman as just a sound system manufacturer, but that would be selling them short. They do quite a lot of things.
Did they pay you to say this?
No.
Okay.
No. They gave me some free cookies if you want that enough disclosure, but no.
Includes paid promotion.
I went there and I did tell them some things they could improve, but there were a lot of teams there and they do a lot of like just the electronics inside the car.
Okay.
And so think about if you were, say, a newer car brand, say you're Lordstown or something like that, Lordstown Motors, and you have two options. You could either develop your own infotainment and your own head-up display and gauge cluster or anything, or you could simply pay Harman and use theirs. You could customize it, how you want, your own skin, your own sounds, everything like that, but like they do the hardware for you and all the heavy lifting.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, and then they just put it in. And they've established this hot swappability functionality where how like what's something that you swap out regularly? Well, how you get
GoPro batteries.
Yeah, well, no, even more so like a phone.
Cars.
You know how you get a new phone every 2 years or whatever. You can essentially take like a car that has this Harman head unit like thing in it, and in like a year or two or whatever, if you want the latest and greatest, you can just swap out the unit and then put it in and then put a new one in, and then like still keep your car, and then it'll have like a faster processor or new features or anything
smart.
like that.
Yeah.
Also,
BMW could probably use that.
Right. Yeah, because that's the problem is you have a car that's 3 or 4 years old, and the car itself works very well.
The new 7 Series, they're going to go to the first owner, to the second owner, straight into the crusher afterwards.
Right, because everything's going to be broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Or like look at a car like your mother's 3 Series. Everything about that car feels nice.
That car's gone.
What? You sold it and you didn't tell me?
I was saving it for the podcast.
All right, we'll talk about that in a minute. Put a pin in that. But that car, probably everything in it felt fantastic, except the infotainment would be a bit dated.
72,000 miles on that car, and it was tight. It was, that was a great car.
Alyssa should have just bought that.
Yeah, we sold it for 17. Yeah,
Very
it's
nice.
a great price.
Cool.
Yeah, this guy got a great price. So I didn't actually deal with this person super directly because this all happened while I was in Florida last week.
Yeah, because things only sell when you're out of town.
Dude, oh my God. I told you about the whole eBay thing, yeah? This always happens to me. Stuff always sells when I'm gone. Anyways, I'm not arguing with it. Stuff sells. That's great. But I had my mom's car listed. I stuck it on Instagram. A couple of you actually reached out to me and said, "This is great. I want it." And then that was it. I don't blame you for that because it was a nice car, a nice spec. And anyways, I decided to move beyond just having it on Instagram, and I stuck it on AutoTrader and Craigslist at the same time. And surprisingly, actually, Craigslist is where I got quite a few hits. I got 3 or 4 people inquiring. A lot of people were just kind of doing the whole Facebook Marketplace thing where they just offer you. I had the car listed for $18,500, and there were people that were just like, "I'll give you 14, I'll give you 15." I'm like, "Oh no, like I don't mind you coming and looking at it, and then offering me a number in person, because then you actually show that you want to come out and you're interested in the car."
Can we talk about that real quick though? Because I also feel the flip side of that, of like how would you feel if someone came out, test drove, look it around, and then offered you 14? And then just like was like, I'm not going any higher. You'd be like, I wasted my entire time screwing around.
They would also have to waste their time to come out and do that. They would they should realize that if they're going to come out and be a decent person, that they're not going to offer you $4,000 less than. But also consider that if they come out and they're like, oh, we'll give you 14, you could be like, well, it's going to take 17 to buy it, and they're already there, and you can have that negotiation in person, and it's better than having some degenerate over text. Okay. Anyways,
all right.
So I finally get a realistic message, or this guy is very straight up like, hey, I'm interested in your car. Are you available this week? I love that's what I love. I love when people are just straight up. The first thing they ask is, when can I come see it? And that because that's what I do. I never say, is this available? Will you take this for it? I'm always like, can I come see it? So this guy, he says, can I come see it? I said, yes, absolutely. You'll just meet up with my parents because I'm out of town. And he said, okay, great. And we set up a time. He went and looked at it. It turns out that he was tasked by his aunt to find a car for his cousin who's graduating high school.
Oh.
And his aunt was like, here's the money I have. Find me a car. And this guy, someone into cars, he drove a GTI. And nice. I didn't see the GTI, but I was told he had a GTI.
Which is realistically the car we should probably get for Alyssa is a GTI.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So they went out. I was in Florida still for all of this, but they went out, drove it. My parents said, oh, they were the nicest people ever. We hope that they buy the car. Aww. And I guess on the spot, they offered 17 grand.
Whoa.
And my mom was like, whoa, okay. We had it listed for 18.5. And I told my mom, I was like, you should try and get like 17.5 out of it. Like, I think 17.5 is like a really good price for this car. And, they went back and forth a little bit over the next couple of days. He was asking me questions. I sent him all the service records. He was very happy that we still had a folder with the records and everything. And they ended up settling on 17,000 because my mom is not a very shrewd negotiator, and she just wanted the car to go to a good home, which I understand. She liked the people, and she's like, I want them to have the car. So
being a good person in life can get you very far.
Yes, exactly. Because if it were me, I would have been trying to get 17.5, 18 out of the car, but whatever. She got the car gone, which she was a little bit sad about the day that it sold. She was kind of moping around a little bit because she really loved that car, but yeah, it's gone. It's off to
Dearborn?
Troy.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Somewhere. It's off to a nice area. I mean, these people were they were Polish.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
did their last name end in ski?
I think so. I think so.
That's
yeah.
pretty much how to tell if they're Polish.
We can check later, but
yeah,
I think so. But yeah, they were really nice people. I met them very briefly when they met at the bank with my mom to transfer money over to her, and seemed like the car was going to a good home. So
good.
Hopefully it'll live on. It's got fresh Continental tires. Shout out to Julie.
Davis.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, Julie. No.
Julie. Yep.
Yep.
But we got her a few. I think I did 3 videos on that car with those tires, so that should be
good
enough. I can't do any
Continental
more now.
DWS 06 pluses.
Yeah, dude, those tires.
Something that you,
best.
me, and Chris have all used.
I love those tires. They're such a great one tire solution.
Yep.
Like.
Yeah, we even tracked the Tesla on with them.
We tracked them. My mom drove all through winter with those tires. They were great. I drove in the snow with them. They felt like they had a ton of traction for an all season.
Yeah.
And they've got good grip in the dry. You can drive spiritedly. I mean, they're like a great one tire solution. So if you want my honest recommendation for an all season, that's the one. Right. If you want my recommendation for a grippy sport tire, I'd probably tell you to get the Bridgestone Potenza Sport, but
That being said, I do still want to try some Michelin Cross Climate 2s at some point.
Amos has on his 850R. He had some
Did he like
Cross Climates. Those are the all-weather tires, yeah? They technically call those all-weather. I think he liked them, yeah. You could go watch his videos on them.
That's true. So, yeah, Harman, so that's one of the things they had. They also showed me some like sound system tuning that they have. What they want to do is they want to this is perhaps going to sound a bit gimmicky to people, and I recognize that.
Okay.
They want to have features similar to Tesla that you can pay to buy right in your car.
Oh God.
And I kind of like that in some ways, because here's an example. Chris and I are big audio enthusiasts. You could pay to have like a more advanced equalizer or like a special sound mode or something like that unlocked in your car. Or you could not. Like if you're someone who couldn't care less, then you just don't pay for that. or a
I guess
subscription
so.
or whatever.
I
You
don't
know,
I feel like if the technology's in the car, just give me all of it.
right. But think about like, okay, so your Honda, do you either make your people pony up to get the top level sound system, have to get the top trim, or do you like let people buy an
I
EX?
feel like somebody just walked in.
Do you let people buy like an EX Civic and then just like pay to like unlock the speaker potential right there? I don't know. Are you still listening? Stu could be here.
Never know, man, who's walking in here.
Yeah. Like that guy who just walked in and tried to buy tires.
There have been a few people have just walked in here, and not all of them are very nice, honestly.
Yeah.
There's that one guy that walked in and gave me an attitude, and I was like,
you're in my shop.
in my building giving me an attitude? Really? Because you screwed up and went into the wrong place, it's my fault?
Yeah.
Dick.
Some people here are trying to find Leaf Guard, and
some people get, well, there was the one guy that was like a DoorDash driver. He was very polite, but
just around this complex,
I think
they'll just like
do loops. They do
loops.
loops. Some people I think get really embarrassed when they like do the wrong thing, and then they
get
angry because they're embarrassed. So whatever.
Another thing they had in the system was, say for example, you were a Ford Maverick owner,
okay,
and you wanted to buy an accessory for your truck, say like a net or like a tonneau cover or anything like that. Ford could have all the their store right within.
That's
so
cool.
If you already have like your credit card like paired with the car or whatever, you could literally just click and have it like be sent to your house or your dealer like right there. So that was kind of cool. At first I was like, I don't like that idea because
I like that better than everything else you just told me.
Right. Well, there have been cars that have had that like order a Domino's pizza like right from your phone, and I'm like, or not your phone, you're from your car. I'm like, that seems kind of silly, but I could actually see the point in like, ordering a net or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then they showed me their head-up display.
Okay.
It was fine. It was one of those augmented reality ones that'll actually like, if your turn is coming up there, it like puts the
arrow right there.
Right. So that wasn't super revolutionary,
like
but it worked well.
For Speed.
This was kind of cool. You know how a lot of new cars have those like check the rear seats before you leave sort of functionality?
Bong, bong.
This one actually has a sensor inside the car, like in the middle, that senses heartbeats. So if you leave a baby or a pet,
these companies are
or
just
any sort of
bored.
human in there, then it'll actually tell you, and it'll send a notification to your phone as you're walking away to be like, you've left a thing. And then if you don't acknowledge that, and it still recognizes something's in there, and the cabin temperature is like getting hot, it can like automatically
detect if your car's infested with mice.
Theoretically.
That would be the only usable thing, because I feel like if you are forgetting your child in the car, you probably shouldn't have a child or a pet.
I think that's easier for you to say as someone without a child, but think about how often you forget even just that, like, you're just busy. You leave your backpack in the car. You're like running 4 different errands, and you think about it. You've had a child in your life for the last 4 years or whatever or something, and like it's asleep. Like how
I have had a child. Oh no, you're saying
in this hypothetical. Yeah, you have to empathize with this. It just becomes a normal part of your life. So tell me you've never left like, a backpack or a laptop or like a package that you literally needed to go get.
Yes, but I'm comfortable leaving a laptop in the car because it's not going to die, in which case I'm not going to have children, so then I can never leave them in the car.
I'm just saying, I empathize with people who forget that their sleeping child is in the back.
We'll see when in a few years when a video surfaces, Daily Motor host leaves child in locked car, and it's going to be like the Camaro, and they're going to take like a thing and smash the window and get your child.
Hopefully whatever car I'm driving is one of these Harman equipped cars, and can just turn the climate control on for me.
Yep.
And then
or a Tesla, put it in dog mode.
Right. Well, that's the thing with the Tesla, it's passive. You actually have to enable it, whereas this system can
automatically
actually sense.
It'll detect. Yeah. I was just watching a video the other day where there was a child trapped in a Kia Sportage in a parking lot, a very sunny parking lot, and for some reason the cops were trying to break into the car without breaking the window. I thought cops would just show up and smash the window, because that's what I would do. Because then you get to smash a window, which is cool, and you get to save a child. Why would you waste all the time trying to break in?
Do you ever see those videos, that video where like some guy is on a newscast or whatever, and he goes up and tries to break a car window, and it just like doesn't break?
Oh, he's
like
trying,
beating on it.
He's like in a junkyard.
Yeah,
he's like,
yep.
These thieves will walk up and boom, and he tries hitting it, and then he hits it one time, and it just falls into the instead of breaking, it falls into the door because he like breaks the window regulator. Oh my god, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
And then he's like, what am I doing wrong? And then the junkyard owner comes up and he hits it and it shatters. I know the exact video you're talking about.
Yep.
Oh man.
The other car we have this week is the 2023 Nissan Ariya.
That sounds like a disease. Oh, you have Ariya. Ooh.
The Ariya.
Ooh, my Ariya has been very itchy lately.
Well, you're thinking of urethra.
It's the Nissan Ariya. It's the Ariya.
Evolve
Miss Ariya.
plus E-Force. Is that correct?
Yeah, whatever trim level it is.
Yeah. A car that is so close to being so good, but screws up in just these little minor ways that add up. Have you ever...
We've never known Nissan to do that before. Or Mitsubishi.
No, Mitsubishi screws up a lot more. Have you ever been on a date with a girl or maybe talking with a girl for a while and it's just like you'd think everything would like add up, but you just don't feel it? Like it's just like there's just enough of little things that like
You're just like,
don't
oh,
check your boxes for whatever, and you're just like, I'm 0% interested in this relationship. Or this becoming a relationship. Yeah. That's how I feel about the Ariya.
Makes sense.
It'd be like, like she's pretty, she's like got a good head on her shoulders, all these things, and it's just like the spark isn't there. And I think it's just like enough little things kind of like go wrong in your brain, and then you write the whole thing off. And that's kind of the Ariya. That's
a really good way to put the Ariya.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Because I got in, I'm
also
like,
appropriate because it has a girl's name.
Yes.
Ariya.
Yes.
Charlie does not have feelings for Ariya.
Right.
There's no spark.
You're welcome, Alyssa. Yep. Alyssa was like, "Do you like it?" And I was like, "I should."
No, honey, I like you much more.
There you go. No, I think Nissan did a lot well with the Ariya. I do think there's a lot of people who will appreciate it. I don't know if it'd be teetering on good car status for me. Because it's just like, what's bad about it?
The brake pedal.
Not that bad.
You've described it. Nothing's really bad. It's just like mediocre in enough.
Would you have it above an ID4?
Yes.
Would you have it above a Polestar 2?
No.
Would you have it above the BZ4X?
No.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Okay. What do you like better
the
about the
BZ4X?
You can go 70.
I like driving the BZ4X.
You
I
can
don't
go
like driving the
90 miles further in the Ariya.
I don't care. I like driving the BZ4X.
Okay. And the Ariya looks better
than the BZ4X. Debatable.
No. Let us know. Seriously, let us know in the comments if anyone thinks the BZ4X looks better than the Ariya.
The Ariya is just bland. It's just a car.
I disagree. I think it's striking.
Okay. It's just I'm gonna not think about that car ever again after this week. Actually, after today, I'm
okay,
never gonna think about it again.
It's okay because no one's gonna buy them, so you'll never see it.
You don't think so?
Kind of like how you've never seen a Nissan Z, the new one.
Why is what's funny? Dane and I were just talking about that yesterday.
Yeah.
He was bringing it up because his girlfriend's going out to have a internship at Nissan, and he was like, "Yeah, I think they're going to be like testing the new Z out there and stuff." And I was like, "You know what, Dane? I have never seen a Nissan Z on the road.
No.
I've only ever seen them at the one I drove at Mama, and like at like shows."
And you rode
I
in
have
one with
never
me.
seen a Nissan Z on the road ever.
Yep. Yeah, they're myth.
What? Like I was like, it was like blew my own mind yesterday. I'm like, this car's been out for like a year. Like, why? Where are they?
I think it's a mixture of they've entirely jumbled the launch, and then people aren't buying them. They're like overpriced and not as good as the Supra and stuff. So, because like just think of how many
Supra's great.
You could wait and buy the new Mustang. You could buy, the Supra. You could buy. Geez.
Someone commented on my Supra video and said I don't know how to shift. You can't really shift the Supra fast. You can't. You can't shift that car fast. It does not let you.
Yeah. I feel like you drive manual pretty well.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've ridden a lot of manual cars with you, and you just can't.
Yeah, I don't shift as well as this person that commented on my video and said I don't know how to shift.
Are you sure it wasn't a 12-year-old who has never driven a manual transmission?
I would assume that's what it was.
Okay. All right. Well, if you're 12 and you've never driven a manual transmission, let us know about Chris's driving.
Yeah, let me know if I can't shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
If you couldn't shift, then the car wouldn't have moved.
Well, they said I don't know how to shift.
You don't know how, but
then the car still wouldn't have moved. Yeah. No, that's true. No, but anyways, you can't shift the super fast. You just can't. It's just how the car is.
You've driven at least a handful of manual transmissions.
I have driven a few manual cars.
Yeah.
Over the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not saying I'm the best or even close to the best, but I feel like I know how to drive a manual.
Yeah.
And then you know what though? I get in a car with Stu, and I'm like, oh my god, I could like improve my manual skills so much.
Mhm.
Have you ever ridden with Stu driving?
No,
It's crazy how fast he like can like change gear.
really.
Yeah, because of like the autocross. You know, you're
Yeah,
doing that.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
doing that 1-2 change. Like you gotta have it quick.
Yeah.
Because I mean, every like 0.0001 of a
That you're
second
not in
counts
gear,
in
yeah.
autocross.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, I feel for Nissan with the Ariya. I do. Fortunately,
I always feel for Nissan because I like Nissan and I want them to succeed, and then
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
they just do things like this, and it's like
no. I think the Ariya is a step in the right direction. I really do.
it is, but it isn't fully there, and you
Yeah,
don't
I know.
don't like it.
And it could be so much better with very little effort. That's what I want to leave on with the Ariya.
Yeah.
Is it's so close to greatness that all you need are a few little tweaks to just make the general living with that car situation better, and it would be good. They just need to have a journalist in their
They need to
development
have you.
team.
They need to have you out there.
Nissan, if you'd like to make the Ariya better, fly me to Japan, give me a translator. Let's spend a week in the room or whatever, and I'll give you some ideas.
Charlie's gonna go steering column. You need a switch. For all of them, you need a switch. That's what he's gonna say. This area, okay, put something here. Not piano black, but put something here in the middle to give storage.
When I engage the cruise control, why does it go to this screen? I want this screen. I know what's happening here. Keep me here. Yeah. Little things. However, we will be getting a Nissan Redemption when we spend 600 miles behind the wheel of the Nissan Versa SR in a few
I cannot believe
weeks.
you did that to us.
I am
really
so
can't.
excited. We're gonna get excellent fuel economy. We're gonna be so close.
I'm
to each
gonna
other.
sit in the back with the passenger seat all the way forwards.
In lounge position.
Lounge, yeah. Does the Versa not have a theater mode? Figured it would. Direct competitor to the 7 Series.
Only if you had the champagne cooler option.
Oh, right.
Did you see I started the Jetta video with that?
You know, I saw the Versa in Chris's driveway, and it actually looks quite nice.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
know.
very nice,
should be a
like
really
white blue. You know, like that color that BMW made on the M2 towards the end. The Hockenheim. It kind of looks like that.
Ooh,
Yeah.
cool.
It's like a very bright silver bluish.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm looking forward to that. I think it should be just fine. Yes. This week, however,
does it have a?
no. I assume you're going to say Bose sound system.
Yeah.
No.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Wow.
You and I are just
yeah.
going to have to talk to each other the whole time.
Well, it's okay. You like doing that anyways. We don't really listen to music. Although we did in the Infinity, whatever
Yeah.
that Infinity thing was we drove last year.
60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That had a decent sound system.
Yeah, Bose. Pretty good. We're just driving, the same car, just a lot smaller and cheaper now. It's the same brain. This week at Daily Motor headquarters, I will be driving the new 2024 Toyota Grand Highlander in Hawaii. Yep. Chris, at least consolation
I know.
prize,
It's okay.
gets the 2023 Genesis G90 supercharger something or
Yeah.
other.
What does that mean?
I don't know that it's got a supercharger that's powered
Is
by
it-
electricity rather than the crankshaft,
Right. Is this the same car that Amos had?
presumably.
I was trying to remember what spec it was, and I couldn't remember.
It was like goldish.
The one we're getting silver.
Yeah, it's probably the
Silver with red
silverish
interior.
goldish.
I think it's probably the same car.
the same one.
Yeah, that thing was beautiful. So I'm definitely excited to spend time in this new G90. It's about time.
Yeah, the Integra and the G90 were two cars that we definitely getting late.
Yeah,
That's okay.
the G90. I remember we saw the new G90 like over a year ago, and I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to drive it, and it still haven't driven it. So,
Yeah,
it's okay. It'll be good to spend a week in it.
and I will be reviewing the sound system when I get back from Hawaii.
Oh, very good. Yeah, Charlie's going to spend 2 days in it, so you'll get some of his impressions, and I will be spending those 2 days that he's in the G90 in the 2023 Kia EV6 GT, another car that's been out for a while that we still haven't driven.
Yeah, that car's gonna be sick, and I'm okay
Yeah,
that
it's
we
like
waited
500
because
horsepower or something.
we're gonna get to take it to the track.
Yeah, that's going to
Yeah.
be a riot.
We are gonna throw that.
Is the EV6 technically an SUV?
Yes, I believe it's a small crossover.
Hmm.
Will this be the first crossover? No, that
Yeah,
we've
the
officially had
Tesla.
for the track day.
You've done the Tesla.
I know, but that wasn't like a press car that we all got to
Okay.
beat on.
Did you guys have a Durango one year or no?
No, we talked about it, but
Okay.
we haven't actually done that.
I've been around track. I've been around Road America in a Durango Hellcat, and it was one
Yeah.
of the most hilarious experiences ever because it was like greasy out. with a pro driver. It was so funny. I was in the back seat. You were there weren't you in there with me, or was it Amos?
Must have been Amos. I don't remember that.
Maybe it was Amos.
It's possible.
Okay.
We drive a lot of cars.
I sat in the
Mama.
back, and either you or Amos was in the passenger seat, and I was just hanging on. I was like, oh my God. Because those SUVs are so funny because they bounce. They don't like, they're not smooth around corners. They go boom, 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 boom around corners, and it's so funny.
Yeah. Mama's going to be interesting this year. I don't know.
There's a lot of us going because Amos keeps initiating people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got iGreen and stuff like that. I don't know how they're accepted into the Midwest Auto Media Association when they're in California.
Yeah.
But whatever.
We'll see. It's okay. I enjoy that because I would rather have like people around us that we know, and we can have conversation other than the weather, which you love. You love talking about the weather, don't you?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So wouldn't you rather have people that we don't have to talk to the weather about?
Yes, I do.
Exactly.
Well, I the disappointing thing is you're just going to be further away from 2GT then.
Oh, that's great. It's music to my ears.
Yeah. Who is going to be close to Bev, presumably, and she will be
going?
Yeah, she's departing to
That's right. She's
Las
departing
Vegas
to Vegas
there.
from there.
Mm-hmm.
In her car that's there.
There.
Your car is here.
Yeah. So that'll be pretty exciting.
That's a great car. I'm glad we got a chance to shoot some videos on that Speed 3.
Are you going to Bev's going away party this week?
Thursday?
Yeah.
Good. Should be.
Yeah. She
Unless
conveniently
something-
scheduled it while half the journalists are in Hawaii.
Yeah, I should be there. Emily works, I believe, but I'm going to go. I think Keone's going to go, so I'll probably go with him.
Okay. Do you have any Copart cars for us? I believe you had some from last week, but they probably have sold.
Maybe. I'm just trying to I've been on Craigslist a lot lately. I've been trying to find some cars I can get and flip on Bring a Trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Beyond, whatever. Okay, anyways. Let's see. No, I have no Copart cars. All I have is the pink Mitsubishi Mirage.
That still hasn't gone.
Has not gone yet.
Sad.
And we already showed the car that I sent you on Facebook, but let me see if maybe there are some other Facebook cars that we can take a look at.
I have a Facebook conversation to address with you. I have not received a single message about my F-250.
That happens when you price things too high. I
Really?
did that with a Focus once. I priced a Focus like $1,000 too high. Didn't get a single message. Dropped the price. Got like 50 messages.
Really?
Yeah.
I figured people would
People
still
don't even
lowball
bother.
me.
No, because think about it.
What is it?
Because they
want
see a
it for
price too high,
$3,000.
and they're like don't even bother.
I think 5,000 is reasonable.
I thought you had it for 7,000.
Yeah, so I'm expecting someone to lowball me by $2 or
then
$3
list it
grand.
for 5.
No, because then they're going to offer me 3.
Yeah, but do you want messages at all? You gotta list it for.
I want messages
list it
from
for
people who
6.
legitimately
Drop it to
are gonna,
6. I bet you'll get messages.
Well, I'm not going to drop it till I get back from Hawaii.
Okay.
That's my plan. I'm going to renew and with this, and I'm going to put it on Craigslist as well.
Items. Yeah, I've had good luck with Craigslist lately.
Not gotten a single message. And I've gotten a ton of views on it. So people are probably looking at it. And
Oh,
going,
Charlie,
wow, this is
I've
way
got one
overpriced.
for you actually. Here,
Okay.
it's not Copart, it's Facebook, but I'm gonna send it to you in Messenger. Okay. So you can be the last suggested person here. Let's see. Yep, there you are.
It always
Last
surprises me
suggested
because you and I
person.
always talk on Facebook, and then Chris, this is
This just
excellent.
popped up. It needs paint and it's not very nice, but
Okay.
it's too expensive. But it's just cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know that both of us really like this car.
Yeah, the Isuzu Via Cross,
Yeah.
2001 Isuzu Via Cross, rare car. I've never seen it in this color. It's
I haven't
sort of
either.
A reddish.
And the interior matches.
This is in Indiana. 190,000 miles. Timing, head gasket, water pump.
I feel like
all
those
done
wheels
about
are
10,000
wrong.
miles.
Aren't those wheels wrong?
I don't think
Those
so.
are what they came with.
I think it could come with those. This is an earlier model year, I think. I think because they did 01 to 03 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or maybe 2000 to 03. Frame is solid.
It's got orange.
Had some surface rust that I wired off and converted and sealed. Roof rails also had some surface rust forming, but they look sick rhino lined, so I suggest that. Cruise control is unreliable at best and non-functional at worst. I'm working on fixing the license plate lights, has most start. So it's a little tired, but if you wanted this as an off-road beater,
be great. I mean,
fantastic.
it's too expensive to be a beater, but maybe
not for some people. Ooh, I mean, those seats are not fantastic. God, that's interior.
Yes, but I have a guy
Yes, you
that
do
could
have a guy.
fix that.
Yeah. Chris has
If anyone
guys.
needs interior work, AmericanMobileInteriors.com.
Yeah.
Go see John.
Oh, he has a website
I'll
now?
hook you up. Yes, he does.
Good. Less than 6,000 of these made, and yet they're only worth 50. This one's only worth 5,500. That's pretty cool. That's a good
Yeah,
find.
that is cool.
Mhm.
I also found an E36 convertible with an automatic
Mhm.
that anyone could drive. It's a really nice car. It's in Ohio. It's only $5,200. If you
I
wanna...
think I just realized I don't think the viewers could have seen all that.
Oh no.
That's a bit awkward. I'm sorry. Here.
Sorry, everyone. We'll show you again.
Yep. Now, that means they couldn't see. What did I show them earlier? Oh, here's this Lexus. we were talking about the interior color, the Bordeaux.
Yeah.
There we go. Here's the Lexus. Looks fantastic. That steering wheel, as we said earlier. And then here's the Isuzu V-Cross. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Sorry, what were you going to show me one more thing?
Do you want to look at this E36?
Might as
It's an
well.
auto, but it's a really clean car, and
I don't really like E36s, but sure.
it's a nice car. I'll send it over to you. Or maybe you would like... Oh, no, I already showed you that one. Ooh, or you could look at a Z3 Roadster, or a Z3 Coupe. What would you rather see, a Z3 Coupe or a E36?
Z3 Coupe.
Z3
definitely.
Coupe, okay. You're still not going to approve of this because it's... Oh, shoot. I almost just messaged the guy on accident. It's an automatic, but
Show me a clown shoe. I'm okay with that.
it's a fair price. I think you could manual swap this car and like double your money on it.
Yeah, the cool thing about Z3 Coupes is they're never going to depreciate.
It's a nice spec otherwise, blue with tan. It's a 6-cylinder, although these were all 6-cylinder, but
Was the Z3 Coupe that they weren't supposed to make, so the engineers did it like in secret and designers and stuff? And
I
then
never
they,
heard
like,
that. Is that? I mean, I wouldn't be
They
surprised.
did that. It was either the Z3 or the Z4.
Okay.
The Coupe one. They're like they were told like no, that's a dumb idea, and then they like did it anyway. Kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that car a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I need to add it to the fleet of Z3s that I have going. I need a
It's
third
actually
one.
the perfect car for you because you don't want to have kids. You know, so you don't need a back seat.
Yeah, and you could manual swap that car. Although I probably wouldn't even. I would just
be your
drive it as
daily.
an auto.
Yeah, and then you have the convertible for your fun car.
Yeah.
You could be the Z3 man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have all configurations. I'd have the 4-cylinder, the mid-grade 6, and the M6 cylinder, and I'd have manual and automatic. I'd have convertible and hardtop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have
I think
it
that's a
all.
good route for you.
Yeah. Just have 3 Z3s and sell everything else.
Yeah, you'd have a Z 3 × 3 × 3. 27.
Z27.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it would
Or
really
Z9,
just be
depending on
Z9
how you
because
look
you
at it.
add them. Yeah, you wouldn't multiply.
Yeah,
them.
you're right. They don't multiply.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
just added. Z9. Yep. Cool. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in to the Daily Motor Podcast. We should be having a good amount to talk about next week.
When Charlie comes back, probably in a darker shade of himself.
Yeah, presumably. Or very red. We'll
I'm
see.
a slightly darker shade, as you can see.
Yes,
Here's
because
the
you were
color
a
I
Florida
used to be.
enthusiast. Do you
If you
feel
can
like
see
telling
that.
the listeners anything about your ZX2 experience? I'm sure you've told a lot of people at this
Yeah,
point.
let's save it
For
for when we need something to talk about on the podcast.
Mm.
Yeah, I also need to get back and hang out with Emily. It's her day off. Yeah.
It's not your day off from hanging out with Emily.
I don't have any days off. You know that. I never have days off.
Never get tired.
I
Thanks
don't.
for tuning in and listening. Oh, I had another question for you.
Hey.
I'm Paris and you're Nicole, right?
I think because you
Yeah.
were very passionate about being Paris.
Yeah.
And
I
I
still
was
need to
like,
get her
that's
book.
fine. Hmm?
Maybe I'll listen to that on some of the flight.
Her book? She
Yeah,
has a
that-
book?
Yeah, I sent it to you, remember?
Oh.
It's a memoir that she came out with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Charlie's going to download Paris Hilton's book.
Yep. And Chris
I'm
is going to go
Nicole.
spend time with Emily.
I'm going to go spend time with Emily.
Yep. And we are definitely Paris and Nicole this week because G90 and Hawaii.
That's right. Paris and Nicole would be proud.
I think so. Although they probably don't even know what a Genesis is.
I bet Paris does. She's into cars. Paris? Okay. Paris
yeah,
is-
we've
we've
talked
talked
about
about
that.
this. She's had a
So
lot
she
of cool
might,
stuff.
but like Ken Panton was telling me, like you don't see a single Genesis in the Hamptons. Like they're
you see them a lot in Florida.
They have not broken into like the upper
Yeah.
class. Yeah.
I saw. You know what's funny about that actually? I was in West Palm Beach, which is like probably the richest part of Florida.
Okay.
That or Old Naples. They're both very rich. But anyways, I'm in West Palm Beach. I think I only saw one Genesis.
There you go.
Whereas when I go to other parts of Florida, they're
Mhm.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
So that's kind of what he was saying is like you'll
Yeah.
see him around like parts of New York, but you don't see him in the Hamptons.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We'll see you on the next one. We're Paris and Nicole with Daily Motor, and as always, CVT on.
Paris Hilton would be disappointed. She would
would.
not approve of
Do
CVTs.
you think she's ever owned a CVT?
No, she hasn't.